Episode 14. If the Sabbath was abolished, why will all flesh keep it in the new earth? Key text: Isaiah 66:22-23. For as the new heavens and the new earth, from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. If the Sabbath was nailed to the cross, cancelled after the resurrection, or meant only for the Jews, then why does Isaiah's final prophecy declare that all flesh will keep the Sabbath in the new heavens and the new earth? Let's read it again, word for word. Isaiah 66:22-23. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, it shall come to pass that from one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. This is not poetry. This is not the Old Testament temple system. This is a prophecy of eternity, a new creation, the restoration of all things, a world without sin. And at the center of this eternal vision, the seventh-day Sabbath, not for Jews only, not for ceremonial rituals, but for all flesh. That means all nations, all people, all tribes, all languages, every redeemed soul from every generation. So let me ask you plainly, if the Sabbath will be respected by all flesh in heaven, why would it be irrelevant for God's people on earth? Do we really believe God would require something in eternity that he supposedly abolished in time? That he would honor the Sabbath after sin is destroyed, but not during the war against sin? That he would expect perfect obedience in heaven, but tolerate rebellion on earth? That's not the God of Scripture. Malachi chapter 3:6 says, I am the Lord, I change not. Hebrews 13:8 says, Jesus Christ the same yesterday and today and forever. The truth is, God never changed the Sabbath. Man did. But God will restore it in full when he restores all things. Now think deeper. Why is this important? Because it proves the Sabbath is not ceremonial, not Jewish, not temporary, but eternal. It existed before sin, Genesis 2:2-3, and it will exist after sin is destroyed, Isaiah 66:23. It is the Alpha and Omega of God's holy time. It is his seal, his signature, his memorial of creation, and a test of loyalty. This one prophecy in Isaiah should be enough to silence every pulpit that teaches the Sabbath has passed away, because it confirms that the seventh-day Sabbath is part of God's perfect future, not a relic of the past. Here's the danger. If you reject the Sabbath now, how will you feel when you see the entire kingdom of heaven keeping it forever? Will you still call it legalism? Will you still call it Jewish? Will you still claim Jesus replaced it, when he's the very one receiving worship every Sabbath in eternity? The truth is this: if you don't love the Sabbath now, you may not be comfortable in heaven later, because heaven is not for rebels, it's for commandment keepers. Revelation 22:14 says, Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. The same gates Isaiah saw in his vision, the same worship, the same day. So ask yourself, if all flesh will come to worship God on the Sabbath in the new earth, are you preparing to join them, or setting yourself up to be left out? Because the final invitation is open. Honor God's Sabbath now, or be forced to acknowledge it later, when it's too late to obey.